Welcome to Selnar's Minis. This is hobby vlog number 4 of 2026. Today's date is March 12th of the same year. As always, paint fearlessly. It's just paint and you can fix any mistakes. Today, I'm going to be showing something different while I talk hobby. Sometimes you need to do something hobby adjacent. For that, I will be putting together a Blokies Transformers Bumblebee model kit. This kit will eventually be used in a new game I'm excited about called Cyber Savage. For that game, I put together a 4-man crew that I hope to get some paint done on soon. Since my crew is not attached to any particular organization and more of just a group of gents who have gotten together, I'm going to be more varied in my approach of the paint scheme and the palette. Due to that, I'm just trying to figure out which of the models I want to have a darker color scheme on and which of the models I want to have a brighter color scheme on. I am still working on the 2 commissions that I keep talking about on this channel. However, I am making some pretty good progress compared to the last several months. In fact, I might be seeing the end of the current green tide of goblins. The remaining number of models is in the low teens. Soon the Horde will be ready to raid distant lands. The other commission I'm working on consists of the terrain in the Resident Evil 2 board game. Doors, it seems, take more work than one might expect. Mainly in trying to keep the paint from getting too thick and building up unevenly on the flat surfaces. Also, the scale of these models is slightly smaller than I'm used to. I do believe that the scale for this particular game is a true scale of 25 millimeters. And it's more than doors for the terrain in this game. It also provides door frames, banisters, metal bridges, stairs, filing cabinets, walls, and corpses. And I seem to have missed in that listing a typewriter, as all Resident Evil 2 video game enthusiasts know. That's when you save the game, you use the typewriter. I will say that I am trying to get the more difficult aspects of the terrain done first. And for me, that's the doors. And secondly, it will be the walls. Now, it will take me a little bit more time when I go to do the walls because I'm going to have to do some research. Looking at a lot of images, both for the board game being painted up and in the video game. This, of course, will take some time to do. It's actually not easy to find images of painted up terrain for this board game. And when you look up Resident Evil 2 on the internet, you actually end up getting a lot of Resident Evil 3 and 4 included in the images as well. In future hobby vlogs, updates on this project might make an appearance. Mainly, to be quite honest, it depends on how much advancement I make during the interim to share. coming off from that, I am going to talk about some potential future long form videos that have come to mind. The first consists of finishing the terrain tile and terrain piece series I started last year. I have the statue for the terrain piece that I wanted to work on, and I have an idea, well, I shouldn't say an idea, but more of a schematic of what I want to do with the temple. For that, I have recently purchased some balsa wood square rods to help with that. Working on focusing on filming this project takes a little bit more effort for me, mainly due to myself being uncomfortable with actually building terrain, and I'm a bit more unsure about how to proceed on that, but I truly desire to complete this project. With that in mind, though, it is good for us to remember that things that we're uncomfortable with generally mean we're not familiar with them, we don't have as much skill in them, or we need to learn them before we move forward. But these are great opportunities for someone to learn new skills or to improve skills that they already have and move to the next level. Second on my list of long form video ideas that I want to work on is the completion of some videos for the classes I teach at Board Bard Games in Portland, Oregon. Now, there are a couple that I'm behind on, and I will share those with you. The first being corroded metals. Now, recently I had finished a video on modified metals, but this is corroded metals, metals that are rusted or have patina on them, and to make them look good at a tabletop distance, and yet also quick so you don't spend forever on them. And mainly without the use of things like Dirty Dawn Rust or Dirty Dawn Verdigris. Both are great products, don't get me wrong, but like there is some satisfaction and some pride in knowing that you have painted something that somebody thinks is fairly rusty by your own skill versus just putting on an easy effects paint. Another video I should do is based on the class I did recently at Board Bard Games, which is painting eyes on monsters or large humanoid creatures. I don't really think I want to go into like 28mm human size at this moment, because that is a different can of worms. But I did do a class in which how to paint eyes on a beholder, which could be used on giants and on dragons. I typically tell people to not worry so much on eyes on 28mm, but that is a different story, and I would need a different setup to show how to do that. But that is also a video I'd like to do. Alright, well, thanks for sticking around this far. As you can see, we have finished the video, or actually finished making the model, and we'll have a turnaround of it as well. As always, paint fearlessly. It's just paint and you can fix any mistakes. And please leave a like, comment, and or subscribe to my channel to help it grow. Thank you very much, and you have a good day.